We got a couple boys in here.
Yeah.
How was
Oh yeah.
how was your morning?
Yeah, fine, fine. I'm just back testing at the moment here. I've done my diary like for the next few weeks. So the plan is to take one trade on a Monday and then two trades on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then no trade on a Friday. And that's my plan for the next 10 weeks, hopefully. Like,
Let's go. I like that plan.
yeah, I
Also,
want to
just keep in mind, setting that goal for two trades on Tuesday. You're gonna subconsciously want to just take a trade. So just keep in mind,
yeah,
these
yeah.
days you
But
also don't have to take a trade.
exactly. So that's what I want to also get used to is like this morning I literally had that perfect setup. Me and Giovanni were back testing last night. He kind of got in pretty late and we only did like 2 hours, an hour and a half, I think. Um but like we caught like some sick moves. We had like three trades last night and three wins. And like he took one trade and I took two and all three trades were like worked out perfectly. But I was really happy with how my trades worked out because it is a new strategy that I'm going to trade on gold. I'm only going to trade gold for the next 4 weeks now. I'm not going to trade GJ anymore. The reason why is because I've been back testing gold a lot more and I'm a lot more interested in gold at the moment.
Okay, awesome. I mean, just keep in mind it's a commodity.
Mm,
It's even harder to trade. So
exactly.
it's a difficult one.
100%, but it's not. So like this weekend, like I've got a few bits I want to do. I want to back test at least like 2.5 hours each day on gold. I want to study candlewick or candlesticks and formations on Saturday tomorrow. And then I want to like just in general look at some other technicals and fundamentals for gold, and then hopefully coming into the next week we'll be buzzing to go.
I love it. All right, man.
But I
Keep
changed everything.
that plan and stick to it. And
Exactly, but the whole thing was changing the monetary thing for psychological things, and
yeah,
that's done me. Even this morning, like, don't get me wrong, like obviously it would have been lovely to jump on and take a trade or whatever, but it's just not the be all and end all at the moment. It's
yeah,
just trying to get there. It's just trying to get there to the right spot, you know.
yep. That's what we talked about yesterday. So
Hey
gold looks
Christian,
like it's forming that support. I'm waiting for a low to be created on GJ and a retest for us to take this down. Since it's Friday, I'm totally okay not taking the trade today. Plus on this trade, this would have been the move possibly, but the thing is these ranges are a little sketchy over here. So the clean move, what we're waiting for is a 20 pip range over here where we can wait for maybe a rejection of this area over here. If we get a clean setup and candles closing in our direction, or possibly a impulse entry as prices passing the low of the previous candles, we can enter that and take this right down. Maybe we consolidate in here and then we start heading up for next week. But it looks like the weekly, if we look over here, looks like the weekly is just, creating that top wick and retracing a little bit. We get the daily came all the way up, flipped bearish now. 4 hour just creating that resistance coming down into this area. But are we coming down right into here as well, or possibly right down to 150, 600? So we got this area that we're approaching right now. It's pretty hairy over here. But Matei, Christian, what's up, guys?
Hi, boys.
I'm
I'm
a
doing
day.
great. How are you?
Good up, fellas.
Dave.
So that's what we're waiting for on GJ. So excuse me, I just gotta use the bathroom real quick. It's like one of those Fridays where we just get price drop and finish off the week.
Yeah, gold is crazy as well.
Yeah, gold's forming that support. I think we got safe buys above this area. Get a close above that area over here. Could be coming right back up. Looking at the 4-hour, we do have a consolidation, but what we could get is another retest of this bearish trend line over here. Because we've been respecting it over here. So we could have created this low. We could be coming right back up to this area, maybe consolidating, but retesting this area, consolidating, and then coming right back down to 160, 1680. You guys looking at anything?
All right.
Looking at GJ. I missed the
Yes.
sell on GCAD. You just journaled it.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Got the market fluidity shirt. Good shit.
Yeah.
Get rid of that line.
Yeah, I tell you this. I bought it from Sasha, like in person, because we live like close to each other.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I went there in person and just bought it from him.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think he stopped that line, didn't he?
He what?
Is he still doing it?
I don't know. Wait.
Looks like this was our move of London and pre-New York. So we'll see if New York respects this. We could be, I mean, if we miss this move, totally fine. We get a retest over here, and we catch this move right back down to 151, 250. That'd be interesting. Unless we get some kind of clean support forming over here. We get a clean move to the left that we can mirror. Whole correction of this move. Couple different possibilities, and that's all you want. You just want options. I got option 1, option 2. You know, it's nice to have. How you doing, Matej?
Going great, man. I've been watching the gold meltdown. I had 1% entry, but used less risk. I mean, the idea was there. I called many winners, so it's good. It's all journal, so.
There you go. Good stuff. You guys adding stuff to the team journal?
Yeah, I've added a couple of my trades.
I have to follow up on it and comment on some of these. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to take a look at these today and get back to all you guys. Good shit. This is awesome. Damn, already coming up to the end of the week. That's nuts. It's Friday already.
Yeah, I need to add my GJ trade from today.
You what?
I need to add my GJ trade from today.
Got it. Yeah.
I'm interested what you'll say about that, because it was very risky trade, but the way I saw it, it made sense for me. So
Okay. Did you
put it
lower
in
risk?
there and we'll discuss.
Of course. Did you lower risk?
Yeah, I use only 50% of my standard risk
Awesome.
because it's taken off the 5 minutes. But yeah, I tried to catch those early sales. And, it didn't work out, but the confirmations were there. So, I mean, I'm fine with that trade. I'll journal it, and I'm interested to see what you think about it.
Yeah, I would love to see it. We're just dropping here on GJ.
Steph, can I get your opinion on gold this morning? Towards like the start of, I think it was on like the fifth. Yeah, it was a half an hour maybe.
Half time.
Oh yeah, sorry, there it is. It's at the top before it breaks down. It had like a shoulder pattern forming at the very top, even further up.
Over here.
No, even just a tiny bit higher. Just the next, yeah, this segment here. As it broke the low to the left side, would you have taken a sell off that?
So as it broke right over here.
Yeah, as it kind of closed.
So let's take a look at the yeah, probably over here because you got this fake out up here, right?
Yeah.
Where price came up, we're ranging in here, rejecting, and then we get that fake out. So there's a high probability now that we're in this downtrend that this is going to break out the other side. So this is where my entry would have been on gold. We would have honestly caught this whole thing. This is last night.
Yeah.
We were looking at this while we were back testing. 20 pip, wow. Wow. 221 pip move.
Would have liked to seen that on GJ last night.
Oh, I know. I know.
Do you guys think gold can continue down?
It can.
I mean,
it
like
can definitely
to
come
one-
right back down. To 60.
Yeah, right back down.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. You know, this is a hard move down, so we got to see what we're gonna do the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Gold. Let's take a look. I just want to journal this.
Yeah, I was looking for the London 4-hour to create top week for gold sales, but it just dropped down. There was no week at all.
Yeah, we could have predicted this too, knowing that, like as I pointed out on the Asian, breakdown last night. This candle closed with no top wick up here. This candle came up and then rejected that area. So this candle came up and rejected again, creating its top wick, and then passed the low of this candle. We could have entered like a swing trade where we caught this whole move. Yeah, that would have been nice. So let's we got daily right here. We got the 4-hour. So we're forming that support over here. Looking forward to back testing the entire week. I like doing that at the end of the week. Just look at all the possible moves I could have gotten. Go back, do the rewind tool. It's a great practice. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Having a good morning? Just taking a look at a gold trade we could have gotten last night. Saw the fake out on the 30-minute.
And gold dropped a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's coming down from this bearish trend over here. Perfect price action on the daily. Price came up, no top wick over here, rejection with this candle, flip bearish, This candle created its top wick past the low of this candle. Clean price action to the left to end the week. I don't trade Asian. That's the only reason I didn't hop in that.
Yeah, the Asian has a lot of volume this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Asian has a lot of volume.
Yeah,
Seems to have a lot
because
anyway.
the last year I remember coming to London, we were pretty much just ranging for every day.
Oh, I know.
London, we got that breakout move, and now this year it's not really like that.
Now it's London that's just ranging.
Yeah.
To figure out. So we got this.
Did you get a back testing session in last night, Steph?
Yes, sir. We did about an hour and a half.
Nice.
With GJ, the time period that we were trading, there wasn't much to play with, so it was a little difficult to backtest. But that's the ebbs and flows of the market. So we'll show the next time we do it, which will either be today, tomorrow. I was thinking about doing it during the live session. I just don't know if it's like smart. Like if we, take too much attention away from the actual live market. But I was just thinking about doing like a backtesting session, like while we're trading here on Fridays. To 20. All right. Yeah, it's a $20 move on gold. Justin, you looking at anything?
No, I was looking at that gold move in 1 hour, and I saw the large red candle or bearish candle, and I probably would have entered after it closed below all of those wicks. My entry would have been worse than I think what you have there.
Where would it be?
So if you move, I would move it down to the close of that large bearish candle.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
because that for me is a very strong confirmation I'm finding through back testing. Whenever you have that range, and then you have a big candle that closes below the range.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what I would have done, but
I like it. Where would your stop loss be?
it would be a pretty big stop loss, but I would have a confluence because I have an overall bearish momentum for gold.
Mm.
Because it would be, I can't see on the, let me try to increase the size here. It would have probably have been around like a 50 pip stop.
Okay. What, above this
But
candle?
yeah,
Cool.
so
I like it.
but yeah, but the reason is because gold never really moves in one direction. It'll move down and then move way up, like you showed on the daily, and then retested that zone, and then for the further move down.
Yeah, that's that would have been a nice swing entry, because it would have been an entry on the 4 hour, right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
get that close on the 1 hour, put your stop loss above the 4 hour, and this would have just dropped. But if you take a look at this, where you could have gotten a tighter stop loss is we have this consolidation, right? All these rejections over here, and then you get a close above the resistance over here, indicating that we could be coming up. But you wait for the retest because it's Asian, right? And you don't get the retest, you get a close right back into the range. So that indicates a fake out. This candle closes a strong bearish candle right down here, back at support. But as this candle comes up back into the range, creates its top wick, and then passes the low of this candle over here, after a fake out, there's a high probability of price breaking out the other side, especially in the downtrend, right? Coming down from a bearish trend over here, then also looking at the daily coming over here. You see this candle right here, obviously a strong bullish push up into this area. This candle closes with no top wick and a bottom wick over here. This candle retests this area, flips bearish, and that's a strong indication that this is a strong area that price is reacting to, because it flipped bearish and closed bearish. This candle came up, created its top wick, passed the low of that candle, got clean candles to the left to correct this whole move, and you could have anticipated this whole thing. So that was a great call on your part when it comes to where you would enter. And I like the fact that you were talking about that 1 hour candle when it closes bearish like that outside of a range. That's a strong indicator that it's going to drop. The only thing is, I like your stop loss, but you could have had a tighter one just because this is a fake out right over here and price is coming back down. And once it passes the low of this candle with some volume at 9:30 during Asian, that's what I said. Normally you get that volume around 9:30, 9:15 during Asian, and you can just anticipate a move, overnight where you could have grabbed this. But I didn't think it was dropping this far, but that would have been a nice move.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. It's because my stop was a little big, so it's moving down those lower time frames. That fake out is a nice confirmation.
Yeah, you always just want to go back on in your journal, whether you missed the trade or you actually took the trade. Just go back and see okay, how could I have made this trade even better? How could I have had a tighter stop loss or entered on an earlier candle, but with enough confirmations and being safe enough of an entry before entering, right? So that's how you get a little bit more confident and better as a trader. Giovanni, what's up, buddy?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you guys doing?
Good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Good. You saw how gold is gonna reach 1680?
Oh, probably. I see it retracing a little bit from this move. Let's see.
It created a support. It created a support on the 1 hour.
At 1701.
Yeah.
And it's rejecting 1700 over here. So we'll see what happens out of this range. If we get a break above this range and maybe a retest on a Friday, we could correct this move a little bit. And maybe we could get some kind of a consolidation to retest this bearish trend again and then continue down to 1680.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it falling down to 1680 just today. But it looks like we're forming support, but you want to take safe buys. If you're calling bottoms, wait for that break of the resistance, wait for the retest, and take this thing up. Because you could have called that same exact thing over here, but you get that fake out. Because you got a clean move to the left. You think we're going to retest this order block over here, which it normally does. So you get this order block, price could come up, retest it, consolidate like it was over here, and then just drop. It's basically what it did. So we'll see if we get that over here. If we retest this area over here, we come right back up into this zone at 1709. Retest this area real quick and then drop. I could see that happening. Got clean moves here for any kind of buys, but just wait for that retest. It's kind of the go-to move right now. But again, if we get that close below here, we got clean price action to the left that we could be grabbing. I always like to come back to the higher time frames. It's kind of congested over here, but let me just journal this trade and finish. Actually, I don't need all this right now. I already did it. So looking at the higher time frames, got to understand that this is a bullish trend that we've been in as well. Looking at the weekly, been retesting this area multiple times, right? Once, twice, and then right over here, we're rejecting previous support 1680, rejecting this area. Are we forming a support over here? This candle is coming back down and kind of correcting and maybe flipping bearish. Maybe it was just creating a top wick and continuing to fall. It all depends on vaccines. It depends on the U.S. economy. Depends on a lot of things going on around the world. So the world's opening back up. But what I'm saying is, did we get this resistance over here? We have this support. Are we going to respect this support and also respect the bullish trend line that we're in over here and continue to either consolidate and continue bullish? Because we've done it before. If you look over here, we've had moves where we created that support down here. We retested this channel, came up, and then we had like a deep correction. But look, it continued bullish. It continued in this trend over here until it ended up breaking out and then coming right back up. But you want to take a look at that and how you have these deep corrections, prices coming out. We're in a major bullish trend over here, and then it just breaks out, looking like it's coming right back down to retest that low, but then it creates support and continues back up. Bate. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what do you think about this entry on gold? I was actually looking at that.
I like it. You just want to, make sure that you're like, I like the setup because you have the resistance right over here. Let me make this blue. Okay. So you have the resistance right over here.
Yep.
Right? Price retests it, coming up and creating a bearish candle with a wick to fill right here. So entering this with exactly where you entered it, I like it. Just make sure that this is where you're going to be securing. At least these wick rejections, these are scary. but you got a clean bearish candle right over here, with an engulfing bearish candle with a wick to fill, anticipating momentum. You know, if you got some volume pumping in, this would have been a nice candle to catch. Maybe secure right here, secure another time right here. Move your stop loss to break even. Just let it ride. Make sense?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a trade you took.
I mean, I was it was kind of a paper trade. I took one later on, but I think those weeks were the things that made me uncomfortable in taking it.
Which weeks?
Those weeks to the left.
Oh, wicks.
Yes.
No, I definitely get what you're saying. You want to be smart when it comes to that and those kind of entries. Those would have been easy rejections, and you honestly, that bearish candle with a wick didn't close below the support, so it would have been a trade that you anticipate, and that's something that, like, right now you're back testing. You're like, all right, I could have caught this, so I'm going to journal it, and the next time I see it, maybe I'm going to enter a very low risk, low lot size, and maybe I'll take
exactly.
it. You know,
and you see the 4 hour, it has almost no top wick, and that's another thing that I was waiting for.
Yeah,
I wanted to see a little top wick and then drop down. Yes, this one.
And this previous one didn't have a top wick either.
Yep.
This was the fake out right over here, and then it just dropped out of that zone. Come on back down to retest this area over here, and then just dropped. But I'm curious about this area over here. Are we coming back up to retest this order block? And then this over here. This is a pretty significant area on gold. So are we creating support right over here to come up and retest it before heading back down? Seems like it's in this range. We want that close out of it. So that's why I have 1709 pretty much marked off over here for some kind of retest of this order block. Giovanni, you looking at anything? Are you done for the week?
I'm looking at gold.
Cool. All right, so GJ created that low down here. So we got our low created. We're coming up. We're reacting to this area over here, 151.200. So what are we going to do from here? Let's see if this is. Let's see what this looks like. So we got a tap over here. Is this the correct trend line? Or is it this? You always got to play around with them. This looks more like it. We could be getting a retest of it. You got your next zone over here. To be coming down into. I don't know. I'm curious. Like, I don't know if we break below 151. That'd be interesting. Looking at the 4-hour, if we break below 151, 200, could be coming back down here or retesting this area over here. Because what I was looking at on GJ is the fact that this is that 4-hour bullish trend we've always been respecting right here, right? Like, forget this right now. Like, we've been respecting this bullish trend. We've been coming up from that area. And if you do this, we've been in a channel. We broke out of the channel, formed support on the channel. We've been pushing up from that channel ever since, right? So are we now, if you look at this, is this a channel as well? We're now reaching the high of the channel and now coming right back down to the bottom of the channel right over here to then continue bullish, right? So what are we doing over here? I'm interested to see what we do below 151, 200, we'll call it, or 200. So are we going to close below that area and continue bearish, maybe consolidate and get a retest of this bearish trend as well? This is going to be a very interesting area for me right here. 151, 380. 150, 380, excuse me. Previous resistance over here, previous support, just price coming back down to retest that area before it starts heading up to something like this. Oh. Does that make sense? So we could be getting that mass correction right now. Now looking at the indices, the Japanese yen is now in an order block. It's correcting. Right? We've been in that bearish trend, and now all of a sudden we're printing sideways. We're moving sideways on the Japanese yen. So if we break this bullish structure or this resistance up here, close above it and start coming up and correcting this move a little bit that we've been in, that could be interesting for GJ to then continue to drop down here and then form that support and continue up. Just going to take a screenshot of this.
Looks like GJ is going to retest that 151, 500 and then make a bearish movement. And then next week, we'll probably get that bullish momentum.
Yeah, we definitely could be. GJ. So we're going to journal that. We're going to put that right in here. Now this was a screenshot of the 4-hour over here on GJ. So 4-hour, 7:12 a.m. Friday. GJ. This is Japanese index. This was the the 30-minute. 30-minute. Friday. So right now, what I'm doing in my journal is just putting like a prediction, March 14th. Of what I think may be happening for the rest of the time. So if we do get a close, we just got to wait and see what happens at 151.200. So whatever we see at 151.200, if we get a break below this area and a close below this area, that's going to be pretty telling for us. Being in this channel over here on GJ, reacting to the resistance of the channel, like, are we going to come back down to 150.600 and consolidate a little bit, retest this area, kind of like what it does where it creates this low, consolidates till it taps that support trend line support, and then continues up to retest the high. So are we doing the same thing right over here? So that's what I'm, journal that, see what you think is going to happen, and see what's going on in the lower time frames. I can erase all this. I don't like too much clutter. Okay. Who just popped in here? Yeah, Ali, Gio. What's up, guys?
How's it going, everyone?
Doing great. How are you?
Really good.
I'm just planning some
Alarm
things
volume
out
was off
next year.
today.
What's up?
My alarm volume was off today.
Oh, shit. That's the worst.
Yep.
You pop up, you're like, oh, where am I?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what we're doing over here. We could be retesting this trend line. As I said, this is a trend line we've been following since March 2nd. And then obviously we have our main one that we are over here. But we are in that channel, broke out of the channel, formed support over here. We've been in this channel now too. So is price going to retest this channel? Is it going to come down and retest this? I don't know. But it could. Never say never. Giovanni. Awesome. I like it.
You see how it's consolidating around 151.500? I don't think price is gonna pass that today. It's a strong area.
You're saying right over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. We shall see. I like the breakdown though.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a strong move to end the week. We tabbed 152.200 new highs, 3-year highs. So now we're retracing. That's normally what happens. Buyers cash out. They're all done for the week. We normally get that strong push on that on a Friday. Fridays are, sometimes Mondays and Fridays are good days to trade, but you still want to lower your risk. So I had this 30 p.m. Thursday Asian. That would have been a beautiful swing at gold.
We called it yesterday, remember?
Yeah. I don't know if you watched the Asian breakdown too. I was talking about this on the stream when we were doing the back testing last night, where price was, it looked like it was pushing down right over here with this candle. Looked like this next candle was going to come up, create its top wick, which it already did, and it passed the low of this wick over here. And while I was doing that breakdown, I was saying this is something you might not want to be trading in. But I was saying I think price is going to react to this area and kind of fake out, because at the time my support was right over here. This candle broke out, created its top wick, and then passed the low of this candle. I was like, This is going to be a fake out right over here. The fake out ended up happening up here, but I did think that we were going to come up and retest this one more time before we got that drop. But it looks like we got that drop last night. And then this is where my entry would have been. After a fake out, high probability of it bouncing out the other side. Could have had a 20 pip stop loss and caught this entire move. And we're breaking out of resistance right over here. I said to wait for the retest, so maybe we get the retest. I'm perfectly okay not taking the trade today. It's Friday at the end of the week, so if we get what we want, cool. I'm jumping in. If not, then no big deal either. We do have a nice range on EJ. Just concerned about this area right over here. I kind of want price to clear this area before taking any sells, but we got a clean move to the left and a nice range over here, about 36 pips. Let's call it 30 pips right over here. Ali, I'm going to take a look at that in a second. I'll be right back, all right?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Ali. If your resistance to floors take sales. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, if we look over at GJ. Yeah, so you're looking for that resistance up here, 151, 500.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and let's see how many pips we have. About 21 pips, right back down to retest this low. That'd be nice over here. We get some bearish candles to continue this move down. That might be our entry for New York. It's a good call. I'm gonna check out the other one in a second. It looks like, what are we doing on gold over here? Just want to keep my eye on it. We shall see. Updated GJ chart. Okay, wait for this. Yeah. So what I was looking at right over here was if we do get that resistance formed over here and that bullish trend line, we could get that resistance over here to retest this low and continue down. Now I'm going to lower my risk being that it's a Friday, but I love the breakdown, man.
Got it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, good shit. And like I said, after the stream, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the team journal over here and take a look at all your trades throughout the week, and just write a little comment on what I think, how I think the entry is going to be, or how I think the entry was, and all that stuff. So continue to add your journals in here. It's it'll do a lot of good. So down here.
Steph, do you know the way you were talking there about just at the start of the stream with me about thinking in your head about like taking two trades a day, that it nearly like you really want to jump into a trade kind of like early.
Yeah.
Obviously the same thing kind of works. You know, if you jump in the trade too early, then you're going to take that loss and you feel more pressure than to try and get a win in your second trade of the day.
Yeah.
So what would you do in that situation in terms of your own mind, and what way would you try and engineer it so that you're not thinking as soon as you come to the charts that you need to take a trade super early so you can get your first trade in, and then two, or what way would you do it?
Yeah, it's with that, it's typically easy because you're coming to the chart with two opportunities, and you're saying, okay, do I, like, based on the past couple of weeks when we've been taking trades during pre-New York, do I want to take a trade before 8 a.m. and use one of my opportunities on a setup that maybe I'm not that used to? Maybe I'll live back test it and catch it next time.
Yeah.
But also, you know, you're confident in your setup, and you're gonna wait for your setup that you normally get. So right now with GJ, for instance, we get that that break and retest. We got candles closing in our direction. We got a bearish bullish trend line that we're potentially bouncing off of over here that we've been respecting multiple times. So are we now just retesting that, forming some kind of resistance over here at a previous support? And if we get that bearish close, you know, do we want to take this on a Friday? Maybe, if it's a clean entry. But like, I'm not putting myself, like, what I do is do the maximum amount of trades, not the minimum amount. Does that make sense? So like on a Monday, the max I'll probably take is probably just one. Maybe not so much Monday, but you know, Friday, maybe the max I'll take is just one trade today, and that'll be it, unless I get my absolute setup. But
so yeah, do you think you should come to come to your session then thinking one trade is how much you want to take, and then you won't impulsively enter because you know that you might have a backup trade, so to speak, that it's more of a case where you're going to be patient enough and you're just going to try and find the one entry, and then if you don't find the entry, then you do have on, let's say, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have a second trade you can use.
Yeah, that's the kind of point I was trying to get at, where, you know, on a Monday, you know, you have your one trade, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't get that trade, that's perfectly fine. You have the rest of the week. You don't have to get that one trade. Or Tuesday, you give yourself two trades, right? So you don't have to get those 2 trades on Tuesday.
No.
If nothing sets up and it's just like the way it was on Wednesday, then maybe we're not going to take a trade.
Yeah.
You
I think
know?
I need to get used to that coming to the session with 1 or 2 trades that I would potentially look to take, but then not taking a trade that day because of a specific setup. You know, you just end up forcing the trade then, and it never really works out. Like
Exactly. So all you do is come to the chart as you have on your journal, 1 to 2
Yeah.
opportunities. That's it. If I don't get them, I'm perfectly fine not taking a trade. If you have to
All right.
write that on your journal, I would do it.
I have it down already.
I love it. Did I finish doing this? Hold on. Did you guys see like what I was talking about with how you could have grabbed this gold move after this fake out right here? Strong confluence that we were going to break out. Only reason I didn't take this is it's Asian. This is nice for Asian, but this is an ideal move during New York, something like this. I thought we were going to consolidate until New York. I didn't think we were going to get the drop. It's a 30-minute entry. So we could be creating our top wick for the 30-minute right up here and then flipping bearish. And we could get a possible entry as price passes the low of this 15-minute candle over here. 2. So we could get one of 2 things. We can either get a continuation of the pre-New York and London move to continue bearish, or we could get a reverse price forming support over here and continuing bullish to mirror this move and correct the whole move. And we're waiting for either one. I've seen this before where GJ comes up and retests that. For, like with this candle right here, it looks like it's coming bearish, but that's a very weak bearish candle. And then where it comes up and retests that trend line again and then just drops. Well, we could very well be forming that support, but I don't want to buy anything until we get above this level over here. And then even there, you're in this range over here, but you got a clean move to the left. It completely neglected this. So you could possibly take buys above 151 to 520. EJ looked like a fake out. What I was waiting for on EJ was price to come up or come down, create this low over here. I know I missed the impulse entry, but I'm not taking those on Fridays. Price comes down, get that retest over here, and then we catch a possible move, but maybe wait till price comes down into here, closes below here to take this move right over here with 30 pips. But looks like we're coming back into the range. Gold, it was a fake out. That's why we wait for the, we're calling bottoms over here. You wait for that retest over here. So right here on the 5 minute, forget about the 5 minute. I was going to say this could be a fake out. We continue bearish. But anything below here on gold, it's going to be nice. Anybody looking at anything specific?
I got in some GCAD sales.
Okay.
Okay.
Got a chart?
Yeah, I can send it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So now what we're looking at on here is GJ. What I want to wait for is the second half of the 15-minute candle to then pass the low of this candle, and that'll be good confluence that we're coming down. Looks like this candle's already bearish. But are we forming resistance over here to continue bearish? Just gonna keep my this opened up. Keep my stop loss up here. Conservative stop loss. Could be coming right back down into this area. Market off at 151.200. This is only 0.5%. I'd be risking, but I'm probably going to double the trade.
So are you treating that 30-minute support as a minor area for it to continue further down with the volume?
Well, I'm definitely going to secure down here. I always do.
Okay.
But you got clean candles to the left over here. We got a nice move down to end the week. We could be continuing right back down to here. And I'm looking to catch this move. Like if we do get it on GJ, if we do end up retesting this bullish trend, forming a resistance over here, and then just continuing down all the way down to 150.800 possibly to start the week. So that's what I was marking off. I think you were just coming in when I did this, but I have like a little section right here I just made for future predictions. So this is what we're looking at on GJ to start the week next week. So we could be in this bullish trend, the channel, retesting the top of it, and then coming right back down to the support of it after reaching new highs, because GJ normally does that. It'll create that high, consolidate a little bit till it retests the trend line, and then gradually come up to retest that high. So we could have already had this move. Looks very similar to this move, right?
Yep.
So we could be coming all the way down, making an impulsive move. Let's see what day this was when this happened. This was March 9th. So this was a Tuesday when that happened. Okay. Just trying to see what normally happens on a Friday. So what happened last Friday? We got a deep move on GJ over here. During London, price ended up coming down to retest that area, came down 77 pips. What's it going to do today? Yeah, it looks like we might be getting our entry soon. I sent this. Giovanni, it definitely could be. The only thing is, like, we're in such a massive bearish trend. And we have a big enough range over here. That's typically only 15 pips. That's probably why I'd only be risking 0.5%. But I've seen this so many times where this bullish trend line comes up, looks like it's going to retest, but it closes bearish, and then this candle all of a sudden comes up and looks like it's going to retest it one more time, and it's creating a lower high as well, it looks like. And if we get a pass below this candle, we could be heading down for New York. So New York might be opening up pretty soon.
Yeah, on that trade, I got caught up on the 15-minute. Pretty much sold the low of the higher time frames.
When was this?
Like right now. Like
so you kind of got faked out?
Yeah. But if you look at the higher time frames, it's just selling the low. That wasn't really good. And it's before New York Open as well.
Yeah. Be careful with selling the low like that and maybe creating that support right over here. You want price to close below this area.
Okay.
Typically, you want to get that close below. I know what you were doing. I could definitely see the impulse entry and wanting to get in, but just want to be careful of that.
Yes, sir.
So let's see if the 15-minute closes below this resistance over here. If it does, that'll be nice. All right. See what the yen is doing. And it's starting to come down. The fact that the yen is creating this resistance over here and starting to come down makes me wonder about what GJ is going to do over here. So we could be creating that support and heading back up. But you're going to have safe buys above this area. Back into the back into the trend. This was a fake out. And we could be heading up, correcting this move, and continuing our move back up to end the week. So the weekly candle, what happened was it created this top wick up here, retraced a little bit to create that top wick, and then right at the end of the week, towards the end, we get that last push up, and that's what could be happening this morning. And if you look, this is a previous high that it was at over here, this rejection area. The 5-minute just wants to create that support. We get closes above this area. This might be nice. Nice price action. That's about it. Giovanni, I was thinking about doing that backtesting session on Fridays, but like I just don't want to be distracted from the market. That make sense?
It does to me, man.
All right, we got a new 15-minute candle. This could be a little fake out, possibly. But I want to wait for a bearish close. Maybe we'll get the 8 o'clock volume continuing down. That's what we're waiting for. It's the 1 hour. I know we have some US stuff coming in as well today too. Consumer inflation. This is weird. Oh, here we go. Inflation expectations are coming out today. I know it's a yellow folder event, but in consumer sentiment, University of Michigan, these are, to me, these are pretty big. You know, the inflation expectations, I believe, for the next year, during the next 12 months, what they think expectations are going to be at. Previous was 3.3. So we'll see what they think inflation is going to be. Obviously, that's going to be weakness of the dollar, which would send gold back up. So we got to close above this area, retest of the support. Could be coming up from here. Safe buys back in this range. This was a fake out of the range of the trend. Euro coming up. Gold closed above this resistance over here on the 15-minute. Wow, this is interesting. I was thinking this might be a good move up. Now, knowing gold, I'm gonna put it below the previous 15-minute. Yeah, something like this. But what I wanted to wait for was 8 o'clock. If I miss this, I'm gonna go back and not back test this. Was anyone looking at this?
Yeah, I was looking at it.
Did you take it?
No. I'm gonna wait for that retest.
Awesome. There he is. Yeah, it's Friday. No need to jump in anything.
That is a nice move, though.
It is. You like that support on the 15-minute and the 30-minute? It's going to kind of close out of this range with a wick to fill.
We'll probably get the move at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nice little wick fill.
I'm in absolutely no rush to take a trade. And that's where you want to be. It's the same thing in life and business. You know, when you remove all emotions, like, oh my God, I need to take a trade here, or I need to make this deal, or I need to be in this town, I need to have my shop in this town, like you end up getting a bad deal or ends up just being a rush decision. But on a Friday, when you're coming into the market with like nothing to lose, nothing to win, you're good either way. You'll be a very successful trader.
You just gotta have patience, man. Wait for
Exactly.
the move to set up.
Exactly. And if like I said, if we get that push up here before New York open and this wick fell, that's completely fine. We missed it. Maybe we get that retest, and if we get it, great.
Look at yesterday, man. That move for being patient on gold.
Exactly.
9:15, bro.
Exactly. We got so
Yep.
much more room to go to close out the week. Took two of the same pictures. I'm personally going with waiting for GJ over here. But again, staying patient, taking what we get.
For GG, I'm gonna start waiting for the setups to appear on the 30-minute.
I like it.
I feel like on the 15-minute, I get psyched out, man, with GJ.
Yeah. Same thing with gold too.
But gold moves a little faster than GJ.
It does, especially right now. What I'm saying is like the 15-minute on gold will psych you out.
Yeah, it actually does.
That's what happened to me. I called the trade the other day and my stop loss was too short.
I remember that one.
Too tight. You learn from that.
I was saying the same thing about that 15-minute and that backtesting session yesterday. That 15-minute is tricky.
You talking about ours last night?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
remember I was talking about GJ?
Yep.
Well, how
Yeah, man.
I'm comfortable with that 30-minute and an hour.
That's good, man. You just go with what you're comfortable with and you move on from there.
But I'm backtesting the 15 because eventually I want to catch them tighter entries. I just got to know it more. See it better.
Every time frame's the same. The only difference is the time, right?
Yeah.
Little life hack for you that drink protein drinks. Put coffee beans in the coffee grounds in the protein shake.
What does it do?
It just tastes so good. That
Really?
little peanut butter. Make sure you make your protein shakes with water.
I used to make it with almond milk.
Yeah, almond milk, oat milk. That's all good too. How is this 30-minute going to close? Even if it closes bullish, it's still a weak bullish candle. We shall see.
Noah's not online, right?
No.
Man, he got a nice little buy yesterday, man.
Yeah, S&P, right?
Yeah, bro. If he would have held that order, man.
Why it shot up?
Yeah, he took the order like around 39, 35.
Wow.
And I told him, bro, it's gonna reach 39.60, the daily high. And it ended up hitting it, bro. Crazy, crazy.
He was probably killing himself knowing him.
Yeah, he went for a quick buy, but then I told him, bro, hold it. It's a nice setup. It was a beautiful setup on the 15-minute.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Gold looks like it's falling this wick over here.
It was a nice break and then retest on the lower time frames.
Yeah.
And US 30 too.
Oh yeah,
Nice, right?
with that stimulus coming out.
It happened like around 10:30 when the news came out.
Yeah, this looks familiar. Looking at his chart, coming all the way up, where he saw the support formed. He took this move.
Yeah, he took like 10 pips.
Wow.
But I told him, bro, hold it to 39.60.
Damn.
Beautiful. Look at
Are
that.
you done with S&P?
Me?
Yeah.
I look at it a lot.
Yeah.
Because I try to help him out, you know. He tells me, oh, what do you think about this? And one day I want to trade US 30, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the money is. That's where the money is. US 30 is the...
There's a lot going on with US 30. Doing a retest over here, this previous support.
And every time it hits that trend line, it just melts.
Yeah. We shall see.
And then expecting the news to be negative or good news. You think it's gonna be good news today on the US?
What, with inflation?
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not. So we could see that reaction to this trend line and start coming down.
You can probably see
that
it
come
nice
out?
amount.
Just want to see. Yeah, what are we gonna do over here? We getting like a last retest of that bullish trend, or are we just forming support and continuing bullish? Looks like we passed the high of this candle. You know, created a new higher low. EJ gold. Oh, I hate when that happens. There we go.
We can probably see a retracement level, a Fibonacci retracement level on GJ.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm looking at. I have my fibs out. I'm just waiting for that retracement.
What levels are you looking at?
A golden zone, 50, 61, or a continuation on 38. If it creates a resistance on the 38 around 500, that's a nice confluence stating that the trend might continue.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna let it form, man. I'm gonna let it form the resistance. Be patient.
Patience, baby. It's Friday. We don't need to take a trade today.
Nah, man, I've been noticing it. Sometimes I've been taking dumb trades, man, and I don't wait. And my analysis are correct.
Yeah. All you got to do is wait.
I gotta wait for the setup.
Exactly. So I'm curious if this was the retest, where price came all the way up, created this top wick, and then came down to retest it over here. This candle rejected. This would have been a nice entry. Would have secured, yeah.
Yeah, that is a nice entry.
Get that pre-New York volume. Here comes New York. So GJ closed bearish right over here. You start coming into this area, Looks like we're coming down. But we could be forming support. We're rejecting the previous resistance over here with this candle. So could this be a fake out, or could this be support? Like I said, safe buys up here. EJ starting to come back into this range. All right, let's see what we get on gold. GJ's a mess. Be curious to see gold do the same exact thing it did last night. Have a fake out. We pop through the other side and get that New York volume coming right back down to 1680. Got the clean move to the left. Should be our next zone over here. We shall see. GJ doesn't know what it wants to do. Look at the Japanese yen. Continuing bearish down here.
30-minute candle for gold. It closed with no top wick.
Yep.
And then the previous candle has no, the candle is in right now, it has no top wick either. So kind of weird.
Oh shit. Wow. We got a gap. GJ's probably coming up. EJ's coming up. Yeah, did you just see that? Look at the Japanese yen index. This is how it opened up on 8 a.m. Yeah. Volatility index is down. See where the dollar's at. Forming this resistance on the US dollar index. So are we going to get that? Wow, GJ's coming up. Getting some buyer's pressure over here on gold. See what happens. This is just the 1 minute chart. I like to see how gold reacts at certain areas. We don't trade based off this. We just take a look at it.
And it would have been nice buys right there, man. 20 pips almost.
We're on GJ or gold?
On GJ. If we would have entered once a support was created. Wow.
Yeah. The thing is, like, do you want to get in here? Yeah, see, this is the reaction to, okay, so we get this high created, wait for the retest, and we take this up around like 839.
Nice.
Yeah, this is that reaction to the Japanese yen. Look at that. So I'm going to keep that in mind. This move right here is only 11 pips.
Look at the 30-minute, how clean it looks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
After the close of that support. So
we got the fake out of this bullish trend over here. Now what we could get on the 15-minute is a support formed over here and take this right back up. Also, the low over here is higher than these lows. So we want to keep in mind. Okay, so the first bias didn't play out. We've got a 20 pip range over here. Uh-oh, here we go. Getting that fake out. What do you guys think? Because we got a beautiful move right down here. Just 16.95.
Yep.
I like the way this is playing out. This just might be our play. Joe, Matthew McConaughey wants to run for governor in Texas. That's crazy. You guys sleeping?
I'm awake.
All right. Here we go. So I want to close below this area. Little retest formed. And we could get ourselves, just like we pointed out over here.
We'll get nice sales, man.
Oh, yeah.
1680.
Oh, yeah. See what happens when we're patient? If we can continue to form resistance over here on the US dollar and mirror this move right down here, that's going to be a nice move on, actually, no, what am I saying? So obviously we want the dollar to be bullish. I was thinking about the yen over here. All right, so we'll see over here. Was that Magic Keys? Who was that?
My bad.
Nancy.
That's me.
Wow. Yo, the Patriots just brought Cam Newton back.
For real? For how much?
It's just a 1-year deal. They probably gave him the veteran minimum.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised. Wow, look at gold. All right, yeah, create that low, come up, retest, and we get this move.
Yeah, 4-hour low is about to be broken too.
Look at GJ move, man.
Yeah, 4-hour created its top wick.
Yeah, and we're breaking the previous one low
Yeah.
right now.
Wow, gold.
Come on, GG. Come on, GG.
What's GJ doing? Wow, it's
Were
pushing.
you guys saying yesterday you guys thought Dak Prescott's a good quarterback?
I think he's a good leader. I think he's he was pretty good this year.
He was amazing this year until
We were talking about the fact that Forex Factory put his contract up as like news.
Hold on, let's see.
Are you a Giants fan?
Me, no. I was going through the stuff and what a lot of these quarterbacks seem to miss is that when you take 20% of the salary cap, your chances for winning anything goes down so much.
I like
Because
that.
I was going through the Cowboys roster, and 8 guys take up 140, or no, 10 guys take up 140 million of their salary cap, and they have 43 other guys or 41 other guys that need to take up the remaining 42 million.
Mhm.
And I'm like, if you pay people like that, you're never going to have a competitive team, because you have to have a good roster,
Yeah.
top to bottom. You have to have a deep roster. But and that's probably what's been so contributory to Tom Brady's success, is because he's taken pay cuts so they could afford to pay other people, whether defensively, offensively, whatever.
Yep. He didn't have to this year.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, look what happened. Look what happened when they paid Zeke. Tell me what did Zeke do last year? Nothing.
Nothing.
Right, exactly.
You're
He's on the
not
book.
supposed to pick a running back that high in the draft.
I picked him in round 1, man, and what a bum.
Was he hurt this year?
No, Zeke wasn't hurt 8 points.
Because he has a cap number for this next year of like 13.1 million. So it's like, yeah, it's such a big number, and you really don't get a lot for it. I mean, it's unfortunate if you're a running back that your first contract you're capped, and then by your second contract you have such a short window to be productive.
100%.
And gold is breaking hearts.
Yeah, I on my strategy I hit gold at 1702, and then it ran to, and then I took my 15 pips and set stops to break even, and then it stopped out.
James,
So
you gotta call these out.
Well, I was so busy at work yesterday. Normally I update my stuff while I'm at work on Trello, or
Mhm.
so I'm gonna do a lot today. I think I'll have a lot more time today, but
Shit. Yeah, I was saying, like, during the live stream, like, send your chart, call them out, let's see what we're doing, and don't be afraid of being wrong. I know that's the case with a lot of people when they send charts and stuff. Like, who cares? If you're wrong, you're wrong. Like, no one's right in the market 100% of the time.
right. No, I'm with you.
This would have been a risky entry, but as price passed the low of this candle right over here, anticipating price to fake out and just drop, but that would have been a little risky. What'd you do as price passed the low of this candle, this wick?
It was the one on the 1 hour. So are you? So if you look to the bullish candle from the 7 to 8 a.m. hour, once price passed the low of that one, I entered.
Got it.
And then I have 40% at 15 pips from that, and then I set stops to break even, and then my next tier is 40% at 35 pips, and then set stops to 15 plus 15 pips, and then if it still keeps running, do 20%, and then do 20% for the remaining, and then once I get to 50 pips, set stops at 35 pips, and then 20-minute increments from there.
Got it.
Or 20 pip increments, not minute.
And that's working out for you?
Yeah, so far, it is. So I'm still kind of just back testing it and doing it with different tweaks and different things to try to maximize profitability and lower risk as much as possible.
Exactly.
You just know someone took buys on gold there and they lost their week's profit.
Yep. Yeah. It's fun to sit back and watch that. Like, obviously we want
100%. Yeah. Especially with, like, when you look at like the market structure, like, you know, but it was pretty obvious that gold was definitely going to do something dodgy today.
Hey, did you guys see that the candle that Nathan sent yesterday in the group chat?
No.
What was it called, Nathan?
I think it's
yeah, it's right here.
Maribozo.
I was literally just thinking of that.
Yeah, it's an indication of a reversal in the trend. But that's what we got yesterday in gold. I just seen it and I was like, I've never seen that type of a candle before. And then we were back testing last night and I looked into it a bit further. And then I seen that it was a candle with no top or bottom wick. It was just, and it confirmed that during that period of time, whichever, let's say it was a bullish market, that the bulls had full control during that time.
I like it.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna head off. Got to start getting ready for work. I'll update my charts in the group later on, and I'll see you all Monday.
Sounds good, man.
Hey, Monday, buddy. Have a good weekend.
Good evening.
You too. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you. Bye.
Bye. Look at gold, man.
What?
Look at gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks ugly.
Very ugly.
Makes you think maybe this is the range right here.
Yep. That's what I changed it to.
Oh well. Guess what? We didn't lose any money today.
I know that's
Yeah.
the best feeling ever.
I was back testing gold and I thought I entered 0.25 lot size, but I entered 2.5 lot size. I went downstairs for to get some water. I come back upstairs and it just says on my screen, "You are bankrupt," and I was just like, "What?" So I text Giovanni and was like, I just blew my account, and he was like, after him just saying patience and all, it was so funny.
That's great.
I think our move was GJ today. GJ buys, man.
Yeah, from this area right over here.
Yeah.
This price past the high of this 30-minute. Should have entered that.
That was a beautiful setup.
Yeah.
We can probably get a bigger move if we wait for a retracement.
Exactly. That's what I'm waiting for. Looks like we're exhausting a little bit right over here, unless we just form like a little support right here that's wick and continue bullish. But yeah, I know a couple of you had a rough day yesterday. It'll be nice to just stay patient, watch the market today, journal the trades you would have taken, and come into next week fresh. Backtest a ton this weekend. But if we get a nice setup on GJ where we get that retest of this support and also this trend line over here, we could take this up to retest this high. Get about 20 pips in here. I think a big reason why gold is doing what it's doing right now is that the dollar is at a resistance over here. This is all from the stimulus. Wow. All right. Could be getting set up. Good shit. That's what happens when you don't rush anything during pre-New York and you just wait for the volume. Wait for the smart entries. We didn't enter here. This would have been a nice entry, definitely. But we said we were going to take anything above this area right over here, 151, 250. that's a safer entry, because knowing that that's a previous support, if you did take this, you only have like 5 pips to play with. So just wait for the smarter move, wait for the high to be created, support to form, and take this right up. The Japanese yen looks like it's going to continue bearish like that. So that means we could form support and continue bullish, especially with this gap. Curious what happened. Oh shit. Greece took a nice earthquake. We need the 30-minute on GJ to close above this area. Above 151, 250, or 520. I don't know why I keep doing it. You know what this move from gold was? Right here. This was last night. Biden was talking. And Biden says that he sees normalcy by the summer. That's what this move was. That makes sense. Especially the fact that price pushed so cleanly through this area over here. Obviously something was going on. That's a 200 pip drop, $20 move. Makes sense.
Guys, that's it for me. I'm out. So see you the next week.
See you soon.
Thank you for everything and take care.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you over the weekend, all right?
Yeah, see you later.
Awesome. You too, buddy.
Bye.
Damn, it's 8:30 already? Will we get our setup? Cute gold. Yeah, I mean, with gold, I've been looking at 1709. That's why I put this here and then this order block right in here that we may need to retest before heading down.
That's what I was looking at too.
You know?
1709 is an important level.
Absolutely. Keep projecting 1700. Wanted to come down and retap 1700 again. To do what? Looking at the higher time frame, we form a support right over here. Consolidate over here and then drop next week. It's a possibility. Man, these pairs are wacky today.
GCAT is pushing down now.
Yeah, you just got news.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, should have waited it for after the news, right?
Labor force survey. Let's see, inflation, industrial.
It was very good numbers as well.
Very good numbers for CAD. Yeah, wow. Yeah, GCAD's probably pushing bearish.
Yeah, exactly. The move I wanted to get, but didn't get it.
GBP CAD. How could you have entered this right here?
There's probably an entry on the 15.
Yep.
But
Candle leaving the area.
Yeah, but that was still before news. Oh no, it was the 8:15 candle. Oh, okay, yeah.
This candle closes bearish. Get the good news. Like I know you don't want to trade news, but you want to trade the reaction to it. But you know, sometimes like if you know your pair enough, you can trade the news, put a conservative stop loss so you don't get wicked out. But that could have been a nice move right there.
Yeah. It looked good on the 15 as well. Closed under the range.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna take anything today. I'm fine with it. If anyone wants to backtest after this, I'm in. I know Gio wants to, right?
You mean like right after the Zoom?
Well, I was gonna make some breakfast real quick, but and then probably hop on.
All right, perfect.
Looks like we're creating that resistance on the.
And Novavax went up $30
What is?
because they stated that their vaccine was 96%.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Wow. So, looking at this trend line on GJ, you have this trend over here. Now we're reacting to it over here, possibly trying to retest it, and then forming a resistance on it right over here. So could we get a sell as price passes the low of this candle over here? Get a clean bearish close, 9 a.m. volume. Just try on Slack. Oh, wow. Yeah, are you in this right now, Gio? Waiting for the bearish close. Okay. It's the 30-minute. Good shit. Yeah, I'm waiting for that close as well. You want that flip of the 1 hour coming bearish. Smart Geo. I love the discipline from you. I've been seeing. It's awesome. See you, Christian. Yes, sir. See you Sunday. On the Lord's Day, we break down charts. What the hell? Cam Newton's deal is worth $14 million.
One year.
GJ just playing around. Wait for them candles to close, son. Yeah, there's probably going to be nothing for us today. Hey, Giovanni.
Yo.
If we didn't have that talk yesterday, do you think you would have been in any trades today?
Yeah, I would have probably entered on gold.
Yeah. Which one? As price was coming up right here?
Yeah. But then you know what? I would have never entered because I don't like that candle had no top wick. So I would have just left it.
Right here?
Yeah, it had no top wick.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't. I was saying the entry down here. Is this what you would have taken?
No.
Oh, where would you have taken this?
Above the zone that we had before. It closed above that zone.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah,
You would have taken this candle.
probably.
Gotcha. Yeah, if anything, I would have taken this right here.
It would have been a nice trade.
Yeah.
Kind of risky.
Would have secured probably at 1-to-1 right here. Stop loss to break even. Yeah, this definitely would have been risky. 17 pips.
Oh my God! Look at GJ. GG.
Yeah, man, GJ's nuts.
GG. But you see how 15-minute confuses you, man?
Oh, yeah.
That's why I don't look at it anymore on GJ.
Makes sense. So let's see what we get over here on GJ. I've seen this setup before.
We're gonna get a nice sell if it closes. If it makes resistance around 151, 700 or 600, that's gonna be sweet.
I like this rejection down here and how we're flipping bullish.
You think it's gonna keep going up?
It very well could. We're consolidating a little bit, but it looks like it's faking out this trend line over here. I just can't tell where the correct trend line is. And I think it's right here. Right? Taps, taps. And now it's tapping one more time. Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, well. This isn't your typical setup. It's like, where's your stop loss?
I have a different trend line.
Oh, where's it? That's it. Got it. I like that too.
So then I drew a Fibonacci on that downtrend to see what the retracement is. That's what I'm waiting for right now.
I like it, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, gold is not the play today, man. Look at that.
Here's GJ. Wow.
You know what will probably happen?
Wow.
We'll probably get that same move what happened yesterday at around 9:15. That big drop. We'll probably get a drop to 1688, create a nice resistance, and then continue going down to 1680.
Yeah. Let's look at the higher time frames of gold. Looks like we're forming that support here Yeah, I see it retapping this area real quick before coming down.
1709.
1709, yeah. Coming up 1709 is consolidation over here.
That's a long wick. 1 hour wick.
Oh yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
Thing is, this candle closed with no top wick.
So it has no range to play with.
Exactly. So if this candle on the 30-minute flips bearish, that'd be interesting to fill this wick. I'm not going to get in it, but
And there's a big rejection on the 30-minute. But the
this is
candle
that trend that gold was in. Yeah. Can't be talking yourself into trades.
Nah, but I think of a nice close below 17. I think we can have nice sells.
Nice close where? Below here?
Under 1700.
Yeah.
And then we'll have that same setup as yesterday. A nice retest on the 15-minute and boom.
Yeah, look at the weekly candle reacting in this area. 1680. Tapped it. Is the weekly going to close bullish? That'll be interesting to see it start coming up and filling this wick.
Mm-hmm.
Could just be having that correction that we normally have right over here. Looks like price is forming resistance over here and coming down to retest it, but guess what? Starts coming back up past the high. So could we get the same thing right here?
Because honestly, the weekly candle was a strong bullish candle. It touched 1740 and then just went straight down again.
Oh yeah.
And on the daily, it still needs to retouch that 1680. You know. So
I mean, it could, but it also could form support somewhere over here and continue bullish to retest these highs up here.
yeah.
This would have been a great move right here. Last night, knowing that Biden was talking, got a clean move to the left, rejection of this area over here. No top wick over here, no more range. Creates a top wick. You enter as it past the low over here and catch this whole candle.
Yeah, but the stop loss is crazy.
What was that?
The stop loss is crazy, man.
I don't know.
180 pips.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot.
So now we're getting this move I was talking about. Passing the low of this candle. I anticipate it coming down to retest the low. Right then here. I just don't want to trade in anything like this on a Friday. GJ. Wow. Does the 4-hour flip bearish before we close at 9 a.m.? Money, you want to Zoom it on Monday?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. It's been like 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. We'll catch up.
Week.
Has it been 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Week,
Time flies, man.
Yes, sir. I took those 2 weeks to just take the time to build a training plan, test shit out.
I like it.
No, I just want to show it to you and just talk about it.
Hell yeah.
All right, cool.
You've been sticking to it, huh?
What'd you say?
You've been sticking to it?
I've been building it, just trying to figure out the rules I want to get.
Yeah.
Look at my mistakes and implement rules based on that.
100%.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna head up, go get breakfast, and do some stuff.
Sounds good, man.
And are we back testing later on?
Yeah. If Gio wants to, because I know he wanted to hop on yesterday, so if he wants to hop on right after this, I'm down. I just want to make some breakfast, and then I'm all yours.
Perfect. All right. See you later. I guess.
Sounds good, man.
Yes, sir.
Later, buddy.
Later, man.
Yeah, we're retesting this low. So this would have been a very high risk sell right here. Probably put your stop loss right up here. 22 pip stop loss, maybe even right over there. But, that's something you can back test and record and journal so you can catch it next time. That make sense?
Yeah.
Giovanni, you down to back test?
Yeah, I'm done.
Good shot. Yeah, let's do it. Man, gold. Giovanni, it feels good not losing any money today, doesn't it?
Yeah, man.
Just watching the way these markets are today.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for my setup. If I don't see it, I'm not trading.
You're like a lion, ready to pounce.
I like the way GJ is looking, though. I think it's going to be a continuation.
Yeah. Past the low over here. What's the 4-hour look like? Now, the previous two 4-hour candles had big top wicks. So are we going to get a top wick to come down to fill this one? We shall see. There he goes. Right back. Right. Wow, see, that's why we didn't take gold.
Breaking
Man, oh,
hearts,
man.
man. Look at those wicks. Woo!
A lot of traders out there getting
They're getting
wiped
hammered
out.
today, man.
Yeah.
All those earnings that they had on Asian, they're probably losing it now.
Yeah. That's how it works,
crazy,
man.
bro.
And banks love it.
Basically free money for them, man.
Oh, yeah. And they know it's all in motion. Ali, see you later,
Have a
buddy.
good weekend, everyone. Take care.
You as well, man. I'll see you
Yeah,
on
definitely,
Sunday.
man.
Actually, you know about
Is
Sundays?
it the simulation sessions?
We do the simulation, then also the market update for the week and
What time do you guys
ready.
typically run it on Sundays?
1:15 a.m. Eastern
Cool.
Standard Time. 1:15 p.m.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I will try my best
All right,
to
buddy.
be there.
Awesome. Yeah, if not, I record it, so you'll
All right,
be good.
sounds-
But it's cool to be on there and just discuss whatever you're going through, and
Cool.
we'll go
Sounds
from
good.
there.
All right, you
Have a good
too.
weekend,
Take care,
bro.
everyone.
Have a good weekend, man.
You as well, man.
Bye.
All right, I'm about to head off of this. I'm just gonna end the stream so that we can record it and I'll upload it. But also, I'll start a new one. We'll do it right after I eat breakfast, and we'll start back testing.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll just grab a quick workout. Get ready for work after this. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Gio, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have breakfast real quick for about 20, 30-minute break, and then we can hop on right after that. All right? So you guys have a good one. Obviously, I'll see you in a second. So anybody watching this, good luck on the weekend. Back test, do what you got to do, and we'll see you on Monday. So see you soon.